I like that this place is like unmarked, right? So nobody really knows there's a recording studio up here. My name is Matt. I own Sovereign Audio here downtown Windsor. I'd say going to school was probably the best decision I ever made. Like I told you, it was like the final piece of the puzzle for me. Step into my office. It was just something I always kind of wanted to do, even as a kid. You know, I had that cliche dream of wanting to be a rock star, and the older I got, the more I realized how hard that is to do. So, you know, I kind of just made my own thing out of it. The touring was really tough, and I wanted to have a more solid job in music, and I really wanted to hone in my skills, so that's why I chose to go to OIART. I'd rather be one of the people behind the scenes doing,
really?
You know, yeah. I'll come in, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. I do a lot of mixing, just because it's one room. I basically just take whatever is offered to me. I came out of school wanting to do metal, but I realized very quickly that there's a slim market for metal. So I'm kind of trying to branch myself out to as many genres as there are right now. Yeah, that was my favorite thing, because I also realized how much the techniques in metal recording also apply to all these different genres too. And if you know the basics of one concept, you can apply it to everything. And that's what I feel like OIART taught me the best. Which it was funny, because I'd be working on mixes while I was at school, and I'd be struggling with something, and the next day, it would be covered in class. Like clockwork, you know? It was cool, just seeing everything that you're struggling with being applied right there, and then you get to have the hands-on application with the labs too. So it was tough just because touring was all I really knew for like 8 years. Kind of having to re-identify myself as somebody who was a touring musician to a studio engineer. I love this, right? I wish I could get back on the road again. It's something I'll definitely, and that's another thing with OIART too, is that they prepare you. You can work in a studio, you can work in a post-production facility, you can work in a touring gig, and everything kind of just applies all together. It was scary, first wanting to get into this, and getting out of school and realizing, I want to do studio stuff, but you have to be able to, it's what Lee calls, what did he call it again? Diversified audio professional, yeah. So becoming that it's scary, it's still scary, but it's exciting, you know? Every day is a little bit different. I don't know, it's just, like I said, something that I decided I wanted to do right when I got out of school, and I didn't really want to wait around. I kind of wanted to jump right into it, because I had some clients that I was already working with while I was in school, but I wanted to have my own place that wasn't my parents' basement, right? Somewhere I could bring my clients in wherever I want to. And yeah, I feel like it worked out pretty well. It was good. I learned a lot about construction. I put together all of these sound panels, but like everything that helped me prepare this room, I learned about at school, you know, with Lee's acoustic classes, like shooting a studio, building sound panels, how to properly treat a room, which I mean, the room still has issues, but it's something I'm still working on, and I know how to address them. So that's the most, I'm not kind of scratching my head going, oh, well, this is how I gotta work with this, right? It's, you make a lot of cool connections at the school, man. It's, you know, Jacob brings a lot of things here that, you know, I don't necessarily have, and I feel like I bring a lot to the table for him, and we just work really well together. And the best thing is that we had the exact same education, right? So everything that I know, he knows. And we just work really well together. You spend so much time on this stuff at OIART, it becomes your life for 11 months. Pro Tools is still it's my favorite DAW now. And the fact that we learned so much about it, it's ingrained in you, like I said. The thing I liked about labs was that the 3 hours really made you focus in on the things that you're learning and just get as efficient as fast as possible. And then coming out of school and having my own space where I can kind of spend, you know, 6 hours just testing out mic placements and getting drum tones, it's really, really, really cool. Absolutely not. I didn't know how anything worked. You know, I talked this big game that I knew all this stuff, and I really knew nothing. I would have laughed at myself back then. I should have laughed at myself. I didn't even know what phase was. You know, it's like, it's really, really cool. I had this vision when I was at school. Something just clicked midway through the year where I'm like, I want to open my own studio. Not that I don't want to work for other studios. I just want to do my own thing. You know what I mean? I have a vision in mind. The biggest thing, I just feel like school was the final piece of the puzzle for me. It was everything. It kind of just brought everything together, and it made doing this so much easier. If I hadn't have gone to school, I wouldn't have been able to open up a space like this. I was just strictly a performer, right? So I didn't really know everything that went into it, but I wanted to be able to understand it. School just made everything more clear. That was, yeah, dude, I kind of miss that rush though. You know what I mean? It's like the rush of, we gotta go, and like being true to your word. That's a big thing in this industry. If you say that you can get something done for somebody, you better get it done for them. Or else it's on you at the end of the day, And I don't want to look bad for other engineers, so I try to do my best work, put my head down, and make people happy. There's plenty of people in this industry who haven't gone to school who have made good careers. What's the harm in having the people who have done this professionally as a career teaching you how to do this step by step, day by day, essentially holding your hand and walking you through everything, there's nothing wrong with that. I'd say going to school was probably the best decision I ever made. Like I told you, it was like the final piece of the puzzle for me. I'm not a YouTube guy where I can just watch a video and learn stuff like that, and there's people who can do that, and all the power to them. It's amazing. I need to be sitting in front of somebody, or physically turning the knob with somebody, seeing how everything works, or else I'm kind of lost. And that's where I feel like school helped. You learn about the concepts in class, and you apply them in the labs directly after, like, that night. So you're kind of putting into action everything that you've learned. And I feel like you won't get that experience anywhere but school. Yeah, and the OIRA kind of rewired my brain too, you know what I mean? It's important, right? This program was important to me, and I just wanted to make the best out of it. And I feel like I got everything I wanted out of it. So, and then some.